A year later, Game 3 begins. The death game is on again. This time it's hide and seek. Players are randomly split into two teams, red team and blue team. Red team hunts, blue team hides. To win, red team must kill one blue team member. To win, blue team must hide for 30 minutes or find the exit. It's a game of life and death. Can the protagonist end this endless nightmare? The story continues from last season. The rebels lost to the guards. They surrender, facing the guns. Park Jeon-seok begs for his life. Spare me. The guard shoots him down. But just as he despairs, things take a turn. Can you run? He went over there. Then, the system announces Park Jeong-seok's elimination. When disposing of the body, the lead guard secretly spared the dead Park Jeong-seok. He marked the coffin. It turns out some guards have a side hustle. When a player is eliminated, they fake their death, then they harvest their organs for profit. The guard who captured Park Jeong-seok, Kang-se, is a new member of their little gang. During last night's riot, Hwang In-ho intentionally spared Song Ji-hun. He had his men return him to the player's room. Seeing Ji-hun alive, the others quickly put him in bed. When Ji-hun wakes up and sees the remaining players, he realizes that among last night's rebels, he's the only survivor. Just as he despairs, the guards enter the room again. They announce 35 players were eliminated last night. 60 people remain. The prize money has increased to 39.6 billion won. If they stop now, each person gets 660 million. Before the guard could finish, a distraught Ji-hun rushes forward. Ji-hun can't accept that he caused his friends' deaths, while he alone survived. Behind the monitor, Hwang In-ho watches the broken Ji-hun without expression. Just then, a call comes from Detective Hwang's undercover boat captain. Hwang In-ho instructs him that before the game ends, they must not find the island. If necessary, the captain can kill everyone, including his brother, Detective Hwang. After the call, Hwang In-ho, wearing his mask, tells his men to repair the island's facilities quickly. Then, through the monitor, he watches his men send the losers to the incinerator. As mentioned, Park Jeong-seok's coffin was marked, so a mechanism in the incinerator saved his life. After handling this, the captain takes soldier Kang-se to their small operating room. On the way, the captain asks Kang-se why she defected from the north. Did you get into big trouble there? But Kang-se clearly doesn't want to answer. They arrive at the operating room. The others are resistant to a new member. In fact, Kang-se is not on their side either, though the situation is temporarily controlled. Someone secretly grabs a gun to fight back, but these amateurs are no match for Kang-se, who is from the north. In a few moves, the entire organ team is wiped out. Right. Back to the players. After his outburst, a hopeless Ji-hun leans in a corner. He doesn't even bother to vote on continuing the game. Seeing their leader like this, the result of the vote is obvious. Those who agree to continue the game won by a landslide. This group even mocks Ji-hun after the vote. They say last night might have been part of Ji-hun's plan. After all, so many people died, and everyone's prize money increased. They should be thanking Ji-hun. Besides them, a religious man is also causing trouble. He keeps muttering at Ji-hun. Fed up, Ji-hun grabs the man by the neck. The man's handcuffs are the only thing that saved him from being strangled. Of course, there are still sensible people among the players. At dinner, the mother of glasses approaches Ji-hun to comfort him. She knows Ji-hun wanted to save everyone, but the result was not what he hoped for. Then Glasses says last night was Tiger's fault. If Tiger hadn't chickened out while getting the ammo, last night wouldn't have been such a disaster. Ji-hun takes the words to heart. He stares deadly at Tiger, hiding in the corner. The next day, a new game begins. On the way to the game area, the players see last night's victims hanging from the ceiling. A warning to the survivors. Tiger sees this and feels guilty. When he turns around, Ji-hun is staring daggers at the traitor. The new game rule requires each player to draw a capsule. The capsules are red or blue, based on the color drawn. Players are split into red and blue teams. It's a game of hide and seek. The blue team must find the exit in 30 minutes, or hide for 30 minutes to win. The red team is responsible for hunting. Each red team member must find and kill one blue team member to win. Everyone has a different reaction to this rule. The guards then announce each blue team member gets a key. This key can open doors in the game area, but once a door is opened, it can't be closed. As for the red team, each gets a dagger to attack the blue team, but hunters are forbidden from attacking each other. Both teams feel the other has an advantage, so the guards thoughtfully allow the teams to switch roles before the game starts, as long as both sides agree. This statement brings out the darkness in people's hearts. The shaman tells her followers she is protected by the gods and will lead them to safety. Her 4 followers blindly worship her. The cowardly Min-soo stares thoughtfully at the knife in his hand. Just then, a long-haired woman approaches. She suggests Min-soo switch to the blue team. In her view, a coward like him wouldn't dare kill anyone. Besides, Min-soo is good at hiding. Last night, she couldn't find him anywhere. She then brings up how another player died. Min-soo is angry. but he doesn't say a word. Meanwhile, player 333, Lee Myung-ji, is trying to convince his girlfriend Kim Soon-hee to switch with him. He also thinks his girlfriend is too scared to kill, though she should give him the chance. And Myung-ji promises that once the game starts, he will rush to his girlfriend's side to protect her and their child. Glasses and his mother are also discussing whether to switch teams. The mother, on the red team, wants to switch, so they can be together. But Glasses says his mother's knee is bad, and if she becomes a blue team member, the wolves on the red team will target her. Then both of them will die. Only if he joins the red team can he protect his mother. But his mother refuses this proposal. In her eyes, her child has never hurt anyone. He doesn't even know how to fight. How could he kill someone? In that case, let her, as a mother, protect her child one more time. As for our protagonist, Tiger, who is assigned to the blue team, is desperately asking people to switch, but everyone refuses him. When he turns around, protagonist is still staring at him intently. Tiger knows if he goes in like this, protagonist will definitely kill him. On the verge of a breakdown, he approaches the protagonist first. Finally, the game officially begins. Glasses convinced his mother to switch teams with him, and Kim Soon-hee listened to her boyfriend and gave him the knife. The blue team enters the game area and splits up to find the exit. Glasses' mother teams up with Kim Soon-hee and Jo Hyun-ju. 2 minutes later, the hunting red team enters the maze. Nam-kyu and Lee Myung-ji have formed a temporary team. Nam-kyu takes out a hallucinogen hidden in his cross to boost himself. While taking it, he asks Lee Myung-ji if he wants some. The reason he teamed up with Lee Myung-ji is because Myung-ji killed Thanos, that arrogant guy who always looked down on him. Nam-kyu told him his name countless times, but Thanos just couldn't remember it. Inside the maze, the blue team members are like lambs to the slaughter, running around. But Ji-hun has a clear goal. He just wants to kill Tiger and avenge his brothers. Unfortunately, as he's searching, Tiger walks right past him. The shaman and her 4 followers are all on the blue team. The 5 of them reach a fork in the road. The shaman starts performing a ritual, claiming she can hear spirits guiding her. But actually, she's just guessing. The cunning old man finds a room within a room, but to his surprise, his key can't open the inner door. Then a passerby runs in. He uses his key to open the door. It turns out specific doors need specific keys. The group of 3 women also encounters this problem. Hyun-ju's round key can't open a triangular lock. Luckily, the 3 have different keys, so they manage to open the door. Seeing this, Glasses' mother suggests they put all 3 keys in Hyun-ju's hand. The masked Hwang In-ho watches from the monitor room as the people in the maze kill each other. Most of his attention is on Ji-hun. Ji-hun is currently chasing a figure that looks like Tiger. The figure opens a door, but it leads to a bottomless pit. When Ji-hun catches up, he finds it's not Tiger. Ji-hun hesitates for a moment and doesn't kill him. When he comes to his senses, he sees Tiger, the one he wants to kill, right across from him. Meanwhile, Glasses is anxiously looking for his mother. Although he is a hunter, he is very nervous. His teammate suddenly appearing by the road scares him. But Nam-kyu is the complete opposite. Since joining the game, he has completely let loose. This killing game is more like a form of enjoyment for him. A blue team member struggling with Nam-kyu is stabbed in the back by Lee Myung-ji. Freed, Nam-kyu then stabs him again. The blue team member stabbed twice can barely breathe. He cries and begs them to spare him. Lee Myung-ji is moved by his cries, but Nam-kyu doesn't care and is about to finish him off. At the critical moment, Lee Myung-ji stops Nam-kyu, but it's not to plead for mercy. He's worried that if Nam-kyu gets the kill, he won't help him pass the game. In the end, they both strike and kill the man. Looking at what he's done, Lee Myung-ji is lost in thought, but Nam-kyu is very pleased with his result. After they leave, Min-soo, who is hiding in another room, comes out. Seeing Nam-kyu's cross next to the body, Min-soo remembers what Nam-kyu said to him. He takes out a pill and swallows it. Back to the group of 3. As they flee, they run into a red team member. He says he only needs to kill the weakest, Kim Soon-hee, to pass. He won't harm the others. But Hyun-ju, with her military background, would never abandon a comrade. A fight is about to break out. Luckily, though Hyun-ju is unarmed, she locks in a victory with a shoulder throw and kills the man. Meanwhile, Nam-kyu and his partner have killed another target. They both have enough kills. Lee Myung-ji plans to leave to find his girlfriend. Nam-kyu doesn't want to lose his good teammate. He suggests they take this chance to kill more blue team members. That way, they can all get more money. Nam-kyu's suggestion convinces Lee Myung-ji. He needs a lot of cash to pay off debts. Now, he just hopes to kill a few more people to get a bigger prize. Meanwhile, Ji-hun is still desperately searching for Tiger. He doesn't know that Tiger has already been caught. He got stabbed in the leg, but at the critical moment, Tiger knocked out his pursuer and took his knife. Now, on the blue team, the group of 3 is in the worst situation. The pregnant Kim Soon-hee has an injured ankle, and at this moment, she suddenly goes into labor. Luckily, Glass's mother has experience with childbirth, preventing a tragedy. Meanwhile, the shaman has led her followers to a new room. The shaman, fleeing for her life, runs right into Ji-hun, whom she had mocked earlier. She tries to use her spiritual act to intimidate Ji-hun, but as the protagonist, he's not falling for it. Seeing him get closer, the shaman has to sell out Tiger, another blue team member. She says she saw Tiger outside the door, and his leg is injured. Ji-hun just has to follow the blood trail to find him. After hearing her, Ji-hun indeed lets her go. To the shaman's surprise, she finds the exit shortly after. But just as she's about to open the door, she finds the exit door has 3 keyholes. This means you need 3 different keys to pass. Helpless, she has to turn back into the maze to find other keys. She happens to run into the old man who escaped death by playing dead. The old man has 2 keys. In the end, they decide to team up to open the door. The group of 3 is still helping Kim Soon-hee give birth. Thanks to Glass's mother's efforts, Kim Soon-hee and her daughter are safe. But the baby's cries soon attract a hunter. Hyun-ju acts decisively and knocks the hunter out of the room. Although Hyun-ju is from the military, she was injured in a previous fight. Plus, the hunter is tall and strong. It took Hyun-ju a lot of effort to counter-kill him. And in the room where she killed him, there's an exit door. Seeing this, Hyun-ju immediately uses her 3 keys to open the door. But just as she's about to step out, her conscience pulls her back. She plans to leave with her 2 teammates. I found the exit. Let's all go together. Hurry, hurry. Hyun-ju is ambushed and killed. The attacker is Lee Myung-ji. After killing Hyun-ju, he realizes she was the one protecting his girlfriend and daughter. Suddenly, Nam-kyu's voice is heard. He knows his teammate is a complete psychopath, so he quickly closes the door and lies that no one is inside, saving Kim Soon-hee's life. But others are not so lucky. The shaman, who teamed up with the old man, leads him to the exit. The old man, when she's not looking, steals the keys and escapes alone. And Tiger, who had been hiding the whole game, is finally caught by Ji-hun. Facing the armed Ji-hun, Tiger tearfully repents for what happened last night. He says he's not as tough as he claimed. He's not from the special forces and has never even held a gun. His tattoos are fake. The reason he bragged was to stay with someone strong like Ji-hun. That was his only chance of survival. Tiger's plea makes Ji-hun's knife hesitate for a moment. Seizing the opportunity, Tiger uses the knife he picked up to slash Ji-hun and then runs away. Tiger then resorts to hand-to-hand combat. Ji-hun quickly gains the upper hand. He sits on Tiger's chest and strangles him. And so, Tiger dies at Ji-hun's hands. The game is over. Staff members enter to remove the bodies. One staff member is almost killed by a red team player, who refuses to be eliminated. At the last moment, another staff member helps by shooting the player. The saved staff member, relieved, takes off his helmet, revealing a Caucasian face. The other staff member also takes off his helmet, revealing an Asian female face. They speak in English. It turns out they are not staff, but VIPs who have joined to experience the game. Not just them, other VIPs have also personally experienced the thrill of executing people as staff. But the other players are far from happy. Although they escaped death, surviving the ordeal, most of them can't be happy. Then the staff announces the game results. In this game, 35 players were eliminated. Only 25 players remain. Their accumulated prize money is 43 billion won. Each person can get 7 billion won. But they are still just consumables. The VIPs are the ones who are truly in control of everything. In the secular world, they can buy all kinds of pleasure with money. But that pleasure is nothing compared to the thrill of buying human lives. They are fascinated by the game. Detective Huang is still circling the nearby waters. Suddenly, he gets a call. He found out the captain claims to be a local, but he and his friends are not locals at all. No one here knows him. His identity is questionable. Detective Huang says that doesn't prove he's a murderer, but after hanging up, he becomes more wary of the captain. Back on the island, it's voting time again. Most choose to continue the game. The old woman falls into despair. She begs and pleads. Meanwhile, the middle manager finally discovers everything in his game is serious. The middle manager finally discovers the group in his operating room was killed by Kang-se. He's about to deal with her, but Kang-se comes to him herself. Kang-se threatens him with a gun. The middle manager didn't want to let her go, but one sentence from Kang-se changed his mind. The VIPs have arrived. This is no time for mistakes. Letting them go is actually a good thing for him. The more you can't afford mistakes, the more likely they are to happen. Since Detective Huang learned the captain might be trouble, he's been extra careful. He found a cosign that looks very familiar. Ignoring the captain's warnings, he lands on the island. He confirms this is the place. That night, the old woman finds Ji-hun and begs him to save Kim Soon-hee and the baby. Ji-hun is already broken. He doesn't believe he can save anyone anymore. No matter how much the old woman begs, he just says he's not the person she's looking for. Meanwhile, the other man hasn't been idle. He snuck into the captain's house. And sure enough, he found something. He found a photo of the captain with the man who recruited players last season. He had a photo with the man at the time. Most importantly, under the captain's dockhouse, he found the captain's hidden uniform, the kind worn by game staff on the island. The next day, Kang-se finds a key on her food tray. It seems the middle manager really did prepare a boat for her to leave with staff member. But at this moment, the middle manager has some doubts. He sends his men back to the operating room to check the bodies of the dead staff. This time, they do a more thorough check. The man lying on the hospital bed thought to be a player is not a player. He has a staff mark behind his ear. The middle manager immediately realizes Kang Se swapped a staff member and a player. Kang Se's real goal is to help that player escape the island. The next morning, staff members rush into the dormitory with a coffin. Everyone gets up to see. The old woman has hanged herself. It seems she really lost all hope after losing her son and didn't want to live. Ji-hun is shocked. But he soon realizes the old woman's last words were meant for him. The old woman's final wish was for him to protect Kim Soon-hee and the baby. But a new game has begun. The VIPs start betting on who will win in the end. Who will win is uncertain. But who will die first is obvious. Kim Soon-hee has a sprained ankle and can't jump much. And she has a baby. She's also a woman. From any angle, she's very likely to die first. But a drunk VIP still bets on her. But when everyone sees the new game, they are all stunned. This time, the organizers have prepared a game with 2 giant dolls. A single wooden bridge connects the 2 dolls. Players must not only cross the bridge, but also jump along with the dolls as they swing a jump rope. In this game, you must first ensure you don't fall off the bridge while jumping rope. Second, you must ensure you always land on the bridge while jumping forward in a straight line. Third, you must not step on or get hit by the rope and fall. The game begins. Ji-hun wanted to leave the baby on this side first and come back for him after the game. But the staff says any player who doesn't cross the bridge in 20 minutes will die. Ji-hun has no choice. He can only tell Kim Soon-hee to wait here peacefully. He'll take the baby and cross the bridge first. But halfway through his jump, he finds there's a gap in the middle of the bridge. This makes it even harder. He has to jump over the gap while holding the baby. Everyone holds their breath. Having come this far, Ji-hun has to keep going. He takes a leap, seeing him land safely on the other side. The players on the other side erupt in cheers. With his example, others follow and start jumping. But unexpectedly, the second person to cross turns around and pushes the person behind him off the bridge. This guy wants to block the way since he got here first, and push everyone else off. That way, only he and Ji-hun will split the prize money. But Ji-hun says if you do that, I'll push you down too. Then you won't get any prize money. The man has to make way. Everyone races against time to jump forward. Just then, Lee Myung-ji notices his girlfriend Kim Soon-hee sitting aside. He approaches her and asks her to jump with him. But his girlfriend accuses him of killing the person who was protecting her and the baby. Lee Myung-ji can only explain that he did it so he and his girlfriend could have a future. He will help Kim Soon-hee. Kim Soon-hee pulls up her pant leg, revealing her injured ankle. Lee Myung-ji looks at Kim Soon-hee's injured ankle and falls silent. Kim Soon-hee once again sees through his hypocrisy and lack of responsibility. Disappointed, she tells Lee Myung-ji that she and the baby have nothing to do with him from now on. The man who wanted to block the road, though he gave way under Ji-hun's threat, is unwilling to give up. He starts a fight with Ji-hun. Ji-hun fights back desperately and pushes the man off the bridge. Now no one is blocking the way for those behind. When everyone has crossed, there's only 1 minute left. Ji-hun immediately tells Kim Soon-hee not to worry. He'll come over and get her right away. But Kim Soon-hee says this is the best choice for the child. Then she jumps from the high platform. This girl is smart in a way. She knows her injured ankle makes it impossible to jump rope. Even if she survives this time, she'll be a burden in the next game. It's better to leave her child with Ji-hun. If Ji-hun lives, the child will live on. Because among everyone here, Ji-hun is the only kind person willing to protect the child. The VIPs start discussing the child's fate. Some think since Kim Soon-hee gave birth to him, and now she's dead, they should be treated as one. The child shouldn't be left behind. But the VIP who bet on player 222 says, although the child and Kim Soon-hee are mother and son, a child is a child. The child should be allowed to continue the game. As the host, Hwan In-ho, suggests the child inherits Kim Soon-hee's number. Leaving such a child seems to make the game more interesting. Players are already calculating how much money they'll get. Just then, the staff informs them the child has inherited Kim Soon-hee's number and will also share the money. This makes the others very unhappy. Just as they are about to pounce on Ji-hun, a warning shot from the staff stops them. The staff also announces that from now on, players cannot harm each other. At this point, Ji-hun has lost hope that Detective Hwang will find the island. Meanwhile, Detective Hwang and his team have marked out a general area and are preparing to search. But the captain has a trick up his sleeve. He erases an area from the map. Just then, the captain receives a call. It turns out the police don't believe the informant's story about a game where people's lives are at stake. They also don't believe the captain is a bad guy. Ignoring the informant's warnings, they call the captain directly to inform him someone has broken into his house and killed his dog. The informant knows this is bad. Once the captain finds out, he will definitely go after Detective Hwang. Everyone on the boat will be in danger. He's furious with these incompetent police, but at this point all he can do is shout and yell, demanding his phone back to call his lawyer. The police, annoyed, give him the phone. He snatches it and rushes out. Inside the police station, he quickly calls Detective Hwan. He tells him the captain is not a good person, and the captain now knows he broke into his house. He will definitely come after them. Detective Hwan must be careful, Before Detective Huang can react, the captain has already opened fire on the others in a cabin. Detective Huang quickly grabs a nail gun and shoots the captain from behind. As he's dying, Captain tells him he was just following orders, including saving him. That was also an order from above. Detective Huang wants the captain to reveal the island's location, but the captain is tight-lipped. I will be back by your side. Kang Se and the player she rescued climb up to the shore. There's indeed a boat waiting for them. She starts the boat with the key from the middle manager, ready to leave with the player. But halfway, she gets a call from the middle manager. He tells her to turn back. He's found out the player's identity, a single father. If Kang Se hands over the single father, he'll let bygones be bygones. If Kang Se doesn't come back, they have ways to deal with it. He has the single father's file. He even knows which ward the single father's sick daughter is in. Kang Se has no choice but to turn the boat back. But once ashore, she tells the single father to leave quickly. Head the boat towards the Bukdo River. Get to shore immediately. Report to the police. The days are dangerous. She then climbs the cliff alone, seemingly heading back to the base. This time, she's definitely not going back to be a pawn. She's most likely going to kill the middle manager. Although Detective Huang couldn't get the island's location from the captain, he looks at the X the captain drew. He probably figured out the island's location. The remaining survivors are ready to quit. They were going to vote to end the game. Huang Minho plays a little trick. At dinner, he tells them, in the next game, they can vote on who dies. And once 3 people are dead, the game is passed. They immediately team up and decide to let Ji-hun, the baby, and the drugged Min-soo die. The next day, the game begins. That night, a staff member suddenly takes Ji-hun away. He takes Ji-hun to see Huang In-ho. Huang In-ho gives Ji-hun a knife and tells him his only chance is to kill the others with a knife tonight. Otherwise, they will vote for him to die tomorrow morning. Ji-hun doesn't believe he'd be so kind as to tell him this. The next second, Huang In-ho takes off his mask, seeing the familiar face. Ji-hun is instantly furious. Last season, he fought alongside Huang In-ho. He trusted him so much. He never thought this Kate was the final boss. He caused so many of their brothers to die. Ji-hun wants to stab him with the knife, but Huang In-ho tells him, even if you kill me, the game will continue tomorrow. Don't you want to save that baby? Ji-hun has to let him go. He turns and walks out with a knife, but Huang In-ho asks from behind. Number 456. Do you still believe in people? Ji-hun returns to his room. He holds the knife to the old man's throat. The old man, asleep, is unaware of the danger. With a slight push, Ji-hun could kill him. Huang In-ho, sitting in front of the monitor, sees everything. He remembers making the same choice himself. The mysterious masked man gave him a knife, and told him to take the chance to go back and kill the others. That was the only way he could survive. He did as he was told. He killed everyone. So, will Ji-hun make the same choice? Just as Ji-hun is about to strike, he suddenly sees a vision of his companions from last season. The young girl says he's not that kind of person. Ji-hun is startled into realizing what he's doing. He immediately retracts the knife. The reason people on this island have been killing each other like this is largely the fault of the guy who took Ji-hun's money, but did a poor job. Detective Huang has dragged this out until almost the end of the 3rd season, before realizing the captain is an insider, leading him in circles. Now, with 1 day left in the game, he has finally locked down a general area, and is trying to search. Huang In-ho isn't pretending anymore. He contacts Detective Huang directly through the boat's communicator, and warns him. But Detective Huang says, if you didn't want me to investigate, you should have killed me then. Since I'm still alive, I'll find out no matter what. A new day, a new game is about to begin. But the middle manager is attacked by the returning Kang Se. Kang Se demands he delete all of the single father's files from the computer. The middle manager deletes the electronic files, but tells her there's still a paper file. The file is on the top floor, but the elevator only recognizes the manager's helmet, and will only stop at the top floor. Kang Se can only take the middle manager up the elevator to the top floor. In the elevator, the middle manager suddenly attacks, trying to snatch Kang Se's gun. He succeeds in knocking the gun from her hand. They fight from the elevator to the top floor. Unfortunately, being a woman, Kang Se is at a physical disadvantage. In the end, she is defeated by the middle manager. The middle manager doesn't rush to kill Kang Se. Instead, he starts talking trash again. This gives Kang Se an opportunity. She crawls to the elevator and picks up the fallen gun. She shoots and kills the middle manager as he approaches. Then she makes her way to the location of the paper files on the top floor. At this point, the new game has begun. This game is very simple. There are 3 stages. In each stage, one person is pushed off a high platform, and the others can proceed to the next stage. The group that had teamed up earlier immediately targets Ji-hun and the baby. They were just about to go to the next stage. The group that had teamed up earlier immediately targets Ji-hun and the baby, just as they are about to make a move. Lee Myung-ji, not wanting his child to die, quickly steps up to divert the trouble. He says if they push Ji-hun and the baby off in the first round, who will they push in the next 2 rounds? Killing 2 people in the first round is too wasteful. Instead of killing Ji-hun, they should kill the lone Min-soo. The others hear this and think it makes sense, so they target Min-soo. But when it comes to pushing him, no one wants to step forward. They are afraid Min-soo will try to take someone down with him, drag them down together. In the end, it's Lee Myung-ji who has a quick idea. He pulls up a steel pipe from the ground and pushes Min-soo off. Next stage. The group again targets Ji-hun and the baby in his arms. This time, Lee Myung-ji can't think of an excuse. A short man is pushed forward, tasked with poking Ji-hun with the steel pipe. Ji-hun seizes the opportunity to hint to the man that the others behind him might be plotting to push him off in the next round. The man immediately loses the will to fight Ji-hun to the death. He turns and asks the others who they plan to push next round. They argue among themselves. No one wants to be sacrificed in the next round. They even have internal disagreements and almost start a fight. Just then, Lee Myung-ji has a quick idea. Another bad one. He tells them to tie their clothes together and wrap them around the waist of the man who is going to do the pushing. The man approaches Ji-hun and tries to persuade him to hand over the baby. They'll draw lots fairly. If Ji-hun hands over the baby, they will push Ji-hun off. But Ji-hun doesn't fall for it. The single father, fleeing on the sea, is pursued by staff. The staff shoot out his engine, making it hard for his boat to move forward. Seeing this, the single father can only grab a gun and fight back. He engages in a shootout with the pursuing staff. Although he successfully shoots one staff member, he runs out of bullets. With his last bullet, he pretends to be dead. When a staff member tries to confirm his death, he attacks him. Just as the next staff member is about to shoot, he runs into Detective Hwang. They shoot and kill the last staff member, saving the single father. Back in the game, the group proposes drawing lots with Ji-hun. Whoever draws the shortest straw must voluntarily jump off. The plan sounds fair, but Ji-hun still refuses to hand over the baby. He tells them to show him the straws. Seeing them hesitate, he knows something is up. He immediately raises his guard. Sure enough, seeing he can't be persuaded, the man lunges at him to push him off. He quickly pulls out his knife and cuts the rope tied around the man's waist. Then he holds the man hostage. The man begs for his life. Ji-hun hasn't decided to push him off, but Lee Myung-ji shouts, "Move," and rushes forward, using a pole to push the man off. Now, at a critical moment, Lee Myung-ji switches sides to stand with Ji-hun, and on the other side, there are only 4 people left. These 4 don't understand why Lee Myung-ji suddenly switched. Lee Myung-ji says he is the child's father. The VIPs, watching from above, can't help but cheer at this exciting turn of events. Because Ji-hun and Lee Myung-ji both have weapons, the other 4 don't want a mutually destructive fight, especially since one person is already dead. This round of the game is over. They can proceed to the next stage. They propose a fair lottery for the next game, but Lee Myung-ji points out there are 4 of them, and only 2 on his side. The other side is likely to cheat in the lottery. During the standoff, the other side makes the first move. Among the 4 of them, 3 grab the weakest one and beat him up. They plan to use this weakest person as a sacrifice, to be thrown off in the next stage. But Ji-hun says no, that's not fair. The other side is immediately angered. They start fighting with Ji-hun and Lee Myung-ji. They are no match for Ji-hun and Lee Myung-ji. In the end, all 3 are kicked off the high platform. Unexpectedly, the last remaining sacrifice also moves himself to the edge. After saying this, he jumps off and commits suicide. Detective Hwang's group, with their superior firepower, directly eliminates the guards. The only one left alive is Park Jeong-sok, who was disguised as a guard. After confirming his identity, Detective Hwang finally finds the island he's been looking for. Meanwhile, on the island, the game continues. Only Lee Myung-ji and Ji-hun, holding the baby, are left. Just then, the host suddenly announces the remaining contestants must proceed to the next game location. Ji-hun straps the baby to himself and prepares to cross the bridge. But unexpectedly, Lee Myung-ji, who went first, is blocking the bridge with a steel pipe. He demands Ji-hun hand over the baby and stay behind. It turns out Lee Myung-ji plans to take the baby to the next round with him. That way, he can have the 45.6 billion all to himself. Ji-hun can't believe Lee Myung-ji, for money, is planning to kill his own child. As they face off, a voice comes over the loudspeaker again. It says if Ji-hun doesn't cross in 5 minutes, both he and the baby will lose their eligibility to participate. The rich people upstairs fully agree with Lee Myung-ji's actions. To them, Lee Myung-ji's choice is undoubtedly the correct one, but they don't know they are about to get into trouble. Aang-se, severely injured, manages to grab a bottle of strong liquor and a lighter. She sets fire to all the players' files. Her abdominal wound makes it difficult to move, but she clenches her teeth, intending to burn the entire data room. Back to the game. The 2 are still in a standoff on the small bridge, because the bridge is too narrow, facing Lee Myung-ji with his long pole. Ji-hun has no chance of getting past. Helpless, he can only propose that if he is allowed to cross, he will willingly be eliminated by Lee Myung-ji. That way, Lee Myung-ji won't have to kill his own child. But unexpectedly, at this point, Lee Myung-ji has been driven mad by the prize money. He can't listen to reason now. Regarding Ji-hun's proposal, he only thinks that after Ji-hun crosses, he'll take the chance to push him off the platform. He even suspects Ji-hun's relationship with Kim Soon-hee. He thinks maybe before they came here, they already knew each other. This child could even be Ji-hun's. Facing the completely crazed Lee Myung-ji, Ji-hun has no choice. He has to put the baby in his arms on the ground and step back to the starting point. His retreat takes him right next to a dead body. While Lee Myung-ji is taking the child to the other side, Ji-hun secretly crouches down and pulls the dagger from the body. Ji-hun's sudden move scares Lee Myung-ji. They face off again, and in the data room, amidst the flames, Ken-se finds her own file. But what she can't accept is, after she defected from the north, her husband and daughter also tried to defect, but they both died during their escape. Back at the game, the two finally start fighting. Lee Myung-ji, with the reach advantage of his long pole, knocks the dagger from Ji-hun's hand in a few moves, but this also gives Ji-hun a chance to use his free hands to control his opponent's weapon. And so, both their weapons fall. They enter the hand-to-hand combat phase. Lee Myung-ji is, of course, no match for the game's god of war Ji-hun. To save his own life, this despicable coward actually uses his own child to threaten Ji-hun. Seeing the hostage in his hands, Ji-hun has no choice but to back away obediently. Unexpectedly, he seizes the opportunity to grab the dagger on the ground and stabs Ji-hun directly. During this struggle, both of them fall to the edge of the platform. Luckily, at the critical moment, Ji-hun grabs onto a rebar sticking out of the platform. This prevents them from falling to their deaths. Upstairs, the rich people are surprised to see Ji-hun climb up. After all, no one has ever won the game twice. Ji-hun, having climbed up, looks at the start button thoughtfully. He finally steps past the button and walks slowly towards the child. The final game is only 10 minutes long. Ji-hun holds the child and stands at the edge of the scene. The rich people don't know what he's going to do. This moment, Ji-hun's eyes are filled with tears. After a long thought, he finally turns and places the child on the ground. At this moment, everyone on the island is watching through the monitors, the big and small figures in the arena. Ji-hun kisses the child's cheek, then gently places him down. In the end, he chooses to end this game as a human, not a beast. And so, Ji-hun chooses to give the chance of life to the child. His choice shocks all the spectators. Hwang In-ho finds it hard to accept his death. In the end, he chooses to declare the child the winner. Just then, his subordinate reports that the police are about to raid the island, so he quickly orders his men to prepare for evacuation and presses the self-destruct button. As he leaves, Hwang In-ho passes by Ji-hun's body, looking at his old friend lying in a pool of blood. He has mixed feelings. To fulfill his old friend's last wish, Hwang In-ho goes to the arena and picks up the surviving child. Just then, Detective Hwang, who has snuck in, spots his brother. He considers shooting, but in the end, his brotherly affection wins. He can only let him leave. And so, the entire island is detonated by the self-destruct sequence. The game on this island comes to a temporary end. The scene changes. In an amusement park in Korea, Park Jeong-seok is back to his old job, drawing portraits for people. The person who comes to him for a portrait this time is Kang-se without her disguise. Park Jeong-seok finds the woman very familiar and asks if they know each other. Kang-se evades by saying she used to work here, changing the subject. Just then, Park Jeong-seok's daughter comes to find her dad. Kang-se finally shows a heartfelt smile. As Kang-se is about to drive away from the amusement park, she suddenly gets a call. The caller claims to be a producer of a missing persons television show. Kang-se had previously registered on the show to find her daughter. The call is because someone has provided a lead, having seen Kang-se's daughter in China. And as for the other survivor, Detective Hwang, he has also started a new life. Because of the huge commotion he caused, Detective Hwang has been dismissed from the police force. And one night, after returning home, Detective Hwang suddenly finds the surviving child on his table. And on the child, there's a small envelope. When Detective Hwang opens the envelope, inside is a business card for the game, and a special bank card. Out of curiosity, Detective Hwang goes to the bank to check the card's balance. The card contains the game's prize money 45.6 billion won. The child was, of course, sent to his brother's house by Hwang In-ho. After settling the child, he flies to Los Angeles to find Ji-hun's daughter. He claims he's there to deliver something for Ji-hun. Unexpectedly, the girl gets angry upon hearing this. In her view, she doesn't care about the something. What she cares about is that her dad would rather send someone else than come see her himself. Seeing this, Hwang In-ho has to say the box contains Ji-hun's belongings. Only then does the girl accept it, and inside the box is the prize money left by Ji-hun. After doing these two things, Hwang In-ho finally breathes a sigh of relief. But just as he's leaving, thing around the corner catches his attention.